Way! Welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. It's international break time and oh, Canada! Yes! U.S. men's national team downed not only by Panama 3 days ago, but in the third place game today by Canada. We're talking about it. Lots of reactions there. We're talking player. We're talking about the players, we're talking about the coaching, talking about the tactics. We've got it all. That's one item we're getting to today. We're also talking about the UEFA Nations League and some of the results that came out of that. And is Kevin De Bruyne seriously considering coming to the MLS? Also, Norway's 5-0 win over Moldova is overshadowed by a pitch invader looking to get to what player, and what was he going to do when he got to that player? And how was history made in the USL this weekend? We've got all of that and much more to get to. Stick around.
What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All right, so did you watch the U.S. men's national team game against Canada? It was the third place game. Canada lost to Mexico on Thursday. USA lost to Panama earlier on Thursday as well to line up today for that third place game in Southern California, SoFi Stadium out there. Yeah, it's a football stadium. I think it holds like 65,000 plus, and I don't know that more than 20,000 plus fans showed up to either game. So not very well attended. It is what it is. That's not what we're here to talk about. Talk about the game. We got some breakdowns here between Nate, Brooks, and myself. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. We got a lot of other things to get to as well. We're going to go for an hour strong tonight. Before we do, I do want to say a big thank you to our partners, a big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all of your soccer gear needs. Subscribe to their newsletter, by the way. They get you some good deals in that newsletter. Big thank you to Next Level Training. Aaron Bird and the guys and girls of Next Level Training are the best trainers in the country. Trust me. Get to Next Level Training before the spots filled up. All their individual camps they do, all the specialized clinics they do. Get and sign up early. Big thank you to the Michigan Jags. My kids play for the Jags, and so should your kids. MichiganJaguarsFC.com for more information. They are one of the best clubs and fastest growing clubs around as well. And last but not least, a big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. I'm wearing his gear tonight, Primal Recovery. Dude knows the game. What a great guy, what a great doctor, and what a great soccer player he is as well. Zach, Dr. Zach, I'll be giving you a call this week. You got a little bit of issues with my knees, a little bit of pain. It didn't do anything. I think it's just old age setting in. Make me better. Make me better, Dr. Zach. I have no doubt he will as well. All right, not just me here. We've got our good friend Nate and our good friend Brooks. Nate, your camera went out. Good Lord, of course it did. We'll skip to Brooks.
You don't need to see me.
Oh, Brooks, how are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. A lot of soccer watching this weekend. So, USL League One, USL Championship, U.S. men's national team, all that fun stuff. So,
all that fun jazz, right?
Yeah, it was good.
There's a lot of soccer. Even though the club game is not around right now, there's still just a lot of soccer. The USL Championship, as you said,
Yep.
USL League's kicking off, and
MLS.
You nailed it, MLS. All right, you got a lot to get to today. We got to get some thoughts from you. Let's go back to Nate as I put the screen on him and fix his camera.
Camouflage, and no one can find me.
Why is it black? Darn it! Go ahead.
It's because I'm the nighttime. It's dark time where I'm at.
It's dark time where
I'm calling live from the dark.
It's dark here where we're at, by the way.
Oh, I'm calling in live from
your backyard.
My backyard.
Or your basement. You turn the lights off.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's spooky.
Hey,
turn the lights off.
Welcome back to the show, Nate. This happens to your camera every couple of weeks.
That's okay.
Anyway, how are you, buddy? How's the weekend?
Not good.
No? Ooh,
Nope.
Why not?
No, We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
How come I don't have a long sleeve shirt?
You don't have a long sleeve shirt. Would you want one like this?
I mean, I wasn't offered one. I kind of,
I'm sure Dr. Zach.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Dr. Zach, we're gonna need another shirt for our good friend Nate.
Oh, hey.
Can you let out the arms though?
Gotta go. You guys talked about the USL thing, right?
Yeah, USL History.
Groundbreaking. I was reading on over. Do you hear the MLS response?
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on.
They're doing pro rel in MLS. They're launching it.
Oh wait, no, we're talking about different history being made.
No, I was talking about the pro rel stuff.
Yeah.
MLS in retaliation is just announced like 10 minutes ago. They're doing pro rel now.
All right, give it to me.
Give away it.
Did
you not read it?
I did not.
All right, you got to go online. It's just been released. So basically, they're doing a pro rel where 16 teams are going to be promoted at the end of the year to then play against each other in the cup tournament.
Oh,
and then they're going to restart it every year. So they got pro rel. They're pro rel. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing that USL is doing.
It
is.
It is like playoff type stuff. Is that what we're doing?
You're not really getting relegated out of USL. But
you're not getting relegated. I got
just like you're not getting relegated out of MLS or promoted out of MLS or promoted out of USL.
I agree. All right, we'll get to that. There was actual history made in the USL this weekend. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But Nate, I know you watched that game. You were sending me text messages all game. Started at 6:00 this evening.
Which
USA
game?
Canada.
Germany?
No, USA Canada.
Did you see Germany take out Italy?
I did see that.
That was awesome.
Did you see the goal that Germany scored, by the way? Pretty quick.
The second one?
Yeah, the one where
that's home cooking right there.
From the corner kick?
That's home cooking.
All right. Let's talk about.
No, I don't want to.
No.
Let's go talking about the Germany-Italy.
You don't want to talk about a U.S. men's national team.
Why do you want to upset me? Why do you want to upset me? How did England do this weekend?
They beat Albania 2-0.
Yeah.
Then they play Latvia tomorrow.
No one knows where that is.
No. I don't know either. It's in
Eastern Europe.
All right,
Eastern Europe. Anyway.
Fine. Let's talk about
There you go. There we go. All right.
Because nobody wants to talk about Latvia.
A 2-1 loss to Canada.
Yeah.
Jesse Marsh, red carded. Listen, in that instance that he was very wrong on that. That was not a penalty.
Not only was he wrong, but I'm sorry, I don't think you can act like that as a manager.
No. Agreed. As a national team manager,
because he wasn't yelling. Do you understand? He wasn't red carded. They panned away from him. Mm-hmm. He ran out of his technical area.
Oh yeah, they said he was on the field by 20 feet.
Yeah. It wasn't.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no, you
definitely
can't do that.
It's like that's JV stuff. Not like. I don't know. It's trying to Bush League amateur stuff. You have to be professional, more composed. Even if you disagree with the call, it's kind of like what was gonna. Oh well, he's angry and on the field. I'm gonna overturn it. I'm gonna see his point of view now.
No,
you know what I mean?
you're not changing the referee's mind, by coming on the field and trying to talk. It was Bush League. It was amateurish. It was downright horrible. But
I'm sure the drone footage he'll look at later, he'll probably.
I like it. It didn't take long for that to get in there, did it? That drone footage. All right, but let's talk about a 2-1 loss to the United States. Did you like the way they set up? I expected them to go a little bit of a stronger lineup because I thought he's got to come out and get a win here, but he didn't go with his strongest lineup. And I did like that Diego Luna started. I liked that. But other than that, I thought Pulisic on the right made no sense to me. I just did not understand what was going on. It seems like Pochettino doesn't know his best team. Tony Meola kept saying that down towards the end of the match. But overall, if you were to put player to player matched up against Canada, you would think on paper the United States have by far and away the better team. They should walk away with a 2-3-0 victory here. But they are outworked. They look like I hate to say it after the way Jesse Marsh acted, outcoached as well.
I don't think you're outcoached.
Definitely outworked.
Outworked, yeah.
Outworked, for sure. 100%.
But I think there's several players on that team that should never be called in again. And I actually am confused on why they were even called in to begin with.
Give it to me. Who are they?
First thing, any MLS players. Sorry, I don't give a shit.
What about Diego Luna?
I'll give it to him.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right,
because he runs a lot.
Yeah.
But
he worked his butt off. I will say that.
Their ability to hold the ball on the technical basis is shocking, and I get it that your forward. I can't even pronounce that guy's name.
Agiman.
I get it. You ran out of options, and Sargent, for whatever reason, he can't he can't seem to be effective for the U.S. men's national team.
It is bizarre that he
I would
can't.
never call him. He's done.
He goes back to
My
England,
eye.
plays for Norwich.
I get it. Yeah, you didn't have
Brilliant.
Bellingham, you didn't have Pfunk, or you didn't have Pepe. You didn't have the guys that you normally lean on to actually be up there. And I think that attacking threat was not there all day. Right back situation,
Arfston.
Arfston. Yeah.
Never should play again. I thought he was awful. I thought he lost the ball constantly. I thought he was all over the place.
I was not a fan.
Not impressed with him at all.
Fan either.
He's not. He's not good enough.
Okay.
Sorry. He's not good enough at that level. Maybe for the other. And Turner, see ya.
Turner
If
was
you
bad.
can't, if you don't have starting minutes as a goalkeeper at this point in juncture, it's like I'm done with it at this point.
And it showed on that goal in the Panama game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they had no shots, and then his as he lines up
rather see-
literally next to the post and lets the ball in
Honestly-
for a post. It was bad because he hasn't played enough minutes.
Honestly, I'd rather see Brad Guzan in there.
Oh my! I mean,
I'm dead serious.
harkening back a couple of years, but
But he's actively playing every week.
and still a great player, by the way.
Yeah.
yeah. Although
I mean-
that does counterpoint what you just said about MLS players not playing, or did goalies not count?
Goalies. I'll
You
give
said I don't want
goalies
to see any MLS players in
field players because
Okay, gotcha.
you know what? If you can't string together passes and hold a ball and effectively be in the right position, then I don't know what you're doing.
clarifying there. Yes, thank you.
You got Richard, Cardozo, Pepe, Robinson, Aronson, Busso, Colwell, Zardeas, Trusty, Tillman, Morrison, Bellingham, leaving out Des, Maloney, Palmer Brown, Tolkien, and Booth. All guys I would have put better than those three players that I just called out.
Dest is coming back from injury, so is Balogun.
I understand.
And then there were
Stop.
Hold on. There were three players.
You're going to cut me off and then tell me to hold on?
There were just letting you know. There were
Okay,
three
hold on.
players.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Arfston
Hold on.
and two other guys were called in because Robinson and Trusty and another one could not come in. So
Bailed
that's
out.
why there were three.
They bailed out on injuries.
That's the only reason why. They were not in the original 30.
All right,
20.
but I don't agree with him getting starts like that. Arfston, that was
It was a third place game. What do you want to do?
win it, beat Canada. I'd like to beat Canada. Would have liked to have beaten Canada. I don't want to wear a Canadian jersey.
So before I was cut off, I was well aware of the injury history of every one of the players. I'm just stating that they're better than those three. Period. Don't want to see them ever called in. Ever again. Unless you're that desperate. That must have been desperate. Those guys are trash.
They weren't good. They were not good. What do we think about the tactics? It looked like a 4-3-3, but that didn't line up well against a 4-4-2 where you were just being outworked. Does Pochettino, does he know his best players, or are you willing to give him this feeling out period where he has 5, 10, 15 games to bring these guys in and see what they do? Or is it, no, we need to win, especially against Panama and Canada?
What's he, 4-2?
Is he what?
Is he 4-2? 4 wins, 2 losses?
Something like that, yeah.
These are his first two. Well, he had the one loss against the Mexico in the friendly.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's 3.
4-3?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, no offense, but and I'm not trying to. I get it. It's hindsight 2020. It sounds like I'm downplaying a Canada team. So you win third place. Sweet.
But
what are we talking about here?
are you wanting him to play these guys like Arfston
No.
to see what they're, or do you say, no, we should win. We should absolutely win. No matter who we put on there, we should win anyway.
I just listed an army of over 11 players, about 11 players there that I would have called in.
Yeah.
And I get some of them were injured, and you
Sure.
couldn't call them in. Some were not injured.
Sure. All right, Brooks, give us your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the game? How did you think of it overall?
It was disheartening.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great word.
Listen, a lot of, listening to what Landon Donovan had to say, Tim Howard, Eric Winalda, all the former men's national team guys, Alexi Lawless, just talking about it and just reading their thoughts on social media and just kind of looking how the guys are playing. There's just no fight. And honestly, for me, it doesn't matter if you're European or domestic. It doesn't matter who they call in. They just need people that are going to fight and go out there and just battle for 90 minutes.
Yep, I agree.
That's the reality of it. And I'm like Diego Luna, MLS guy. I think he was probably the best player in the field tonight. To be honest with you,
For the USA, at least.
for the USA, yes, for the USA he was, and that's because he kept running everywhere. He kept defending. He he tracked back when he needed to, even when someone lost the ball and he went back and got it.
Sure.
And I mean, it's just what are you going to do? If you don't have 23 guys that are going to come in and fight, and you only have of the 23, if only 5 or 6 are willing to do anything and willing to play 90 minutes and get stuck in and do something, what are you going to do? And the question is, this is really a golden generation. That's the thing. Like, I'm not a believer just because you go play in Europe, it means you're a good player. A lot of guys get over to Europe because of their agents and the connections they have within clubs. And I don't believe always all the best players always play in Europe. It just happens, you know?
I agree. I agree with you. Now, I'm not trying to counter argue this in any way, but I agree with the fact that what's being said on social media by a lot of the pundits is we're not seeing a lot of fight. We're not seeing a lot of just effort put in. But also, I said it in my opinion, I think Pochettino and his staff were a little bit outcoached. And here's how I'll give that to you. Mm-hmm. And obviously stats, you can read them anyway, right? Take any data points you want and you can tell a story out of it. But 60% ball possession for United States, obviously compared to 40. Total shots on goal, 9 for Canada, 5 for the USA. Total shots on target, 4 for Canada, 2 for the USA. Big chances created in the game, 3 for Canada, none. Not a single big chance created for the USA. They had 60% of the possession. They were down on shots on goal. They had no big chances compared to 3. Big chances missed, 2, and 0 for the USA, obviously. Passes completed, they were accurate. USA had 359 passes, 80% passing. Canada had 221 passes for 73. We committed more fouls than Canada. We had 18 fouls committed by us, 13 committed by Canada. And offsides, we were offside 4 times. They were offside twice. Corners were 3. In my opinion, Jesse Marsch and his staff set up very well for Pochettino and his team and created more big chances, had more shots. They gave up the possession, and they deserved the win. They overall deserved the win.
What is classified as a big chance? Because White had a shot right from 3 feet out and hit a bunch of players. That, to me, is a big chance. How can you say that's not a big chance?
That's a great question, actually. I don't know.
But it
was clearly blocked, right? It was blocked by the defender.
Is that not a chance?
It was in the 6-yard lot.
That the ball drops to a player who cranks one in and it ricochets off some players that happen to be in a better spot.
Agreed. Fully agree. That's FOTMOB coming up with that. And I will say maybe a big chance is if he blows it over the bar, then you missed a big chance, right? Yeah. But if a defender steps in and blocks it.
To me, that's still a missed big chance. Anywho.
Agreed.
Anyway, so everyone keeps saying the trope, this team doesn't have enough fight, blah, blah, blah. You just read off they had more fouls. To me, that doesn't show a team that's not fighting. I'm watching certain guys like Pulisic carry a Canadian player on his back for 5-10 yards as he's running. That shows fight to me. You know, I'm seeing guys mix it in, push them around. Sure. That shows fight to me. That's not the issue.
So what's the issue then? Give it to me.
I just gave it to you. You had 3 guys out on the field that were worthless in my mind.
So
you're playing 3 men down.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, Pulisic is the one guy that I think is always in there doing something. Yeah. He is. There's no doubt about that. And when he's with AC Milan, he is the one star above and beyond, in my opinion, in Europe that produces week in and week out.
Listen, he is going to be the best American to ever play this sport by far. I mean, there's not going to be someone anywhere close anytime soon.
I cannot say the same for Weston McKennie. I cannot say the same for Tim Weah. And Tyler Adams is now getting back into form and playing well for Bournemouth. You know, I think he is one of the guys that has definitely been good.
Sure.
It's just like I said, all these guys that play in these international clubs, like, what's it mean? Well, you know, what's it mean? Like,
if you're playing in the highest level there is.
Yeah, but if you can't bring it back to the national team and do anything, what are we talking about here?
Nate, you have to be at least a little happy we didn't see Tim Ream on the field.
I did like they started the 2 young center backs.
I would have rather seen Chris Richards out there.
I would have rather seen Chris Richards actually as well because he's the future of that spot, right? So why not just play him as much as we can to get to learn what he can do as a coaching staff?
I'd rather see Trusty out there with Richard.
Honestly, Richards to me wasn't very good in the first game. I thought he was really nonchalant on the ball.
In the first game, I'll agree with you 100%, but I still think he's going to be it's his position. I think it's his for the.
And I think that's the issue is that these guys think they have the positions and it's locked down and they're untouchable, and that's the problem.
Possibly.
That's the problem, and that I thought Pochettino was going to maybe change that a bit. Maybe it is for Gold Cup. I don't know. Maybe it changes that way. I don't know. Yeah. But I know the only one player that fights all the time is Pulisic.
All right.
And sometimes he's on an island, and
All
I
right.
feel bad for him.
So question, boys. Where do we go from here? Because coming up this summer is the 2025 Gold Cup. It's June 14th through the July 6th. It's almost a month. That's a tournament. Are we expecting anything based on these results? Are we expecting to win it? Are we expecting to compete properly? Where do we go from here? Where does Pochettino go from here? Because not less than 10 days ago, he said, I can see the USA at some point winning the World Cup and being number one in the world. And based on these two performances, you got to go, nah, man, you're going to slide. You're actually going to drop in the rankings. And this is not good. Nate, I'm downtrodden just like you right now. It's like I was watching that game going, what the F is this? What is this, man? Like,
I'm
don't know.
pissed, but I still disagree that Christian Pulisic is the only guy who works hard. I'm sorry.
Well, the Diego Luna worked hard in spots.
I think McKenzie works hard as well. I've seen him get pulled, prodded, and knocked around against Mexico. I've seen him getting, walk up and call guys out. I'd like to see Acosta back. Why not?
I mean, that's someone who works in the middle and puts his body on the line and does it, and he does the dirty little dark arts of the game, right?
Yep.
I think the worst one they didn't give one call to was Aiden Morris this one. I think they could have used the guy that gave him
Yeah.
worse.
Aiden
Why
Morris
not?
should have been called in.
Why not bring him in? He's been playing really well for
I think
Middlesbrough. Why not?
I don't know, but I think Tanner Tessman's way overrated. I think he showed in that first game he couldn't complete passes when needed to.
I wasn't impressed.
Brian White wasn't anything there at the end.
I wasn't impressed.
I think if you gave Brian White 45 minutes, it would have been a different story.
I will say
he's scored a lot of goals in MLS, and I think he's a different type of player. I think he would have done better than Igiman.
I think, and I agree with that. I think White did a lot. You saw the attack actually moving in the direction with his running and spacing in between the center backs, and it was starting to open things up a bit.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I didn't think Gio Reyna did bad, to be honest with you.
He was all right.
He was all right. But it's it baffles me why certain guys are not being called in.
Yeah.
Guys that are forced to work hard every week. I just don't understand. Like, why aren't you calling in Maloney, who flat out said, I'll buy my own plane ticket to come play?
That's a head scratcher to me, too.
Like, the guy obviously wants to be here.
Yep.
Right.
He make a difference in the midfield.
Plays in a decent league.
He plays in a good league.
Why
He's
not
playing
bring him
for
in?
a top 4 team in a good league right now.
Why are we not bringing?
I don't know.
Why are we not bringing Limerone in?
That's the things like I see and kind of gets frustrated to go, well, why aren't you calling this guy in? Like,
It's interesting.
What is going on?
We're less than 10 games into the Pochettino era, and we're already going. It seems very similar to the last coach. It seems very similar and eerily. We were very upbeat when he was hired. I'm not upbeat anymore.
I wasn't.
I just don't. You weren't. I'm gonna go back and watch the video. I thought you wanted it when he was hired. You're like, yeah, different,
He
something
wanted
different
Thierry
outside of the
Henry.
New Jersey area,
I
right?
did.
You wanted what?
I wanted Thierry Henry.
Yeah, Thierry Henry's a big Panama fan.
Wait, hold on. They went up
They
to
went
him.
up to
He didn't
him
go up to them.
because he's his idol. Come on.
I know.
Waterman
I
went
know.
up.
I'm just giving him it.
But, listen, I don't think Pochettino joysticks them. He has a plan. He has an idea, but it's great. He asked, Greg Berhalter, it's you got to be here. You got to do that. You got to do that. You have to play within what he wants you to do. That's why, to me, it's on the players. It's not Pochettino's fault.
But
It's the players' fault.
But
It's for not showing up and doing better.
there's one person who gets fired when the players do not show up and play, right? And I don't want to pick on a club, but we've seen it for 10 years. Manager after manager after manager, great players who haven't shown up, right?
I don't
You
think
can pick any club and
Pochettino's that
happens.
coach, though. I mean, he got the guys at Tottenham fired up, and
He did well. He did well.
what he could
Southampton,
at-
He did well at Tottenham.
At Chelsea, he did
okay
what he
at
could
PSG,
do.
He did well.
You know?
He did well at Chelsea, but maybe he's just not. Him and his staff aren't relating right now to Pochettino. I'm not as upbeat as I was when he was hired. Right now, it's just we've had 2 losses against 2 very bad teams, in my opinion, who, by the way, lower in the standings in the FIFA overall world ranking standings. Way lower. Way lower. I would have loved to have played Mexico tonight. I would have loved to have been able to cancel our show tonight and go, hey, everybody, tune in and watch USA versus Mexico for the final. This is going to be fun. But now we're talking about we finished 4th out of 4?
You weren't going to cancel the show. Get out.
I mean, maybe not.
Here.
I love doing this.
What do you buy this? The short turnaround for the players like Pulisic getting in late and not having a lot of time to work with the guys, and do you buy that? does that factor in that?
What do you mean, like flying in from
Yes,
Europe?
because it's such a quick turnaround from when you play to when the games are that you don't have you don't have like a week to prepare for this.
Sure,
I mean,
I
it's
get
a day or two.
How is it different from Canada?
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of the other teams are dealing with the same stuff,
It's
man.
going to be my
It
argument.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's similar like when you blame the pitch, right? It's like,
Sure.
what was the other team playing on a different
Sure.
pitch than you?
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I mean?
you're
Like-
playing the same pitch
Yeah,
for sure.
So it would say the same thing. Majority of those Canadian players were
Sure.
coming in from overseas as well.
A couple of them, play
There's
local, play MLS. A couple of them play overseas.
I looked at the roster. There's
Yeah, it's
only two MLS players
Okay.
on the Canadian side. The rest of them are coming somewhere from Europe.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Fair enough.
I
think a lot of teams deal with this, and a lot of teams understand how to deal with it. They say, hey, take this drug on the plane and you'll sleep. You'll be fine.
Take a drug.
Take a
not the
drug.
sleep part. It's the jet lag and the transition of hours.
We got
Yeah.
drugs for that.
They know how to deal with that stuff. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. No, I don't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it doesn't affect them at all. But, both teams do have to deal with it. Yes, Nate.
You know what I'm also tired of?
Ooh, what are you tired of?
We have lost home field advantage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And-
Was there not more Canadians in California
No.
there today?
No,
It seemed like
no,
there
no,
was.
no. You brought it up in the beginning.
I did.
You're dropping 20, 30,000 people in a 70,000.
Oh yeah,
So how as a
in
player,
a football stadium, it's
so how-
ridiculous.
And I'm not trying to use excuses for these guys, but it's different energy when you walk into a 30,000 rocking person stadium.
Yep.
Columbus
versus
Crew Stadium, which
versus-
is pro-American stadium.
Drop a dime and you can't hear anything.
Both LA teams they were away this week, both of them. You could have played at Dignity Health where the Galaxy play, or you could have played at BMO. And it would have looked better on TV.
Yep.
Now, we all know why it wasn't.
Of course.
Because Mexico is playing, and with every game that they play, and so the games are played back-to-back, right? So the first game on Thursday was USA versus Panama. The second game right after that was Canada versus Mexico. Now, USA versus Panama, there was less than 20,000 people there. For Mexico versus Canada, that place was jammed,
I'm sorry,
man.
who's running this?
I 100% agree with you.
Who's-
100% agree with you. Who's running it? It's in our country. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Money, 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 money,
But
money.
that's the problem. The
Money.
Federation is putting.
Agreed.
And that's got to be disheartening as a player.
Sure.
To go, wait a minute. We could have went to like Cincinnati. We could have went to Nashville. We could have went to Austin. We could have went to all these other nicer places that would have filled out, that have great soccer-specific pitches, that would have been a home field advantage type. I mean, I'm talking east. You go East Coast, middle of the state. You're more of a home field advantage than if you would have had to play Mexico in LA.
And honestly, it's a closer drive for all those different states for people to come in to watch, too. I mean, who's going to it's so expensive, California.
Agreed. Hey, I think it's a big failure by the entire U.S. Soccer Federation all the way around from top to bottom. Naming where we're playing, the coaching, the players, everything. Just one big show if we're being very honest.
Coach has no control of where they play. That's,
No.
that's on the US Federation.
You miss. I think the entire thing from where we're playing to the players not playing good enough to the coaches picking some of the wrong players and not putting the right tactics in. I don't think a single thing in this little tournament went correct for us.
And I get it. You don't want to rely on it, but you know what? You get CONCACAF left and right all over the place.
Yeah.
And how many times have we had to play in really bad stadiums in Panama River? Why aren't we playing Panama in
New England?
No, I think it was 38 degrees, 39 degrees in Cincinnati, right? Why aren't we playing in there where all our players, being in Europe, playing outside or weather adapted, to play those? Why? Why not?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know because
It's silly.
Because the United States Soccer Federation figured they could make some money out of going to SoFi in
Increase the
California.
price.
Well, the
Yeah.
Nations League is a tournament, so they're obviously going to put it somewhere. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put it on like Miami or Orlando or something.
But aren't we the hosts of this tournament, so don't we have the say, right?
You would think
I
so.
don't know if that works that way.
I don't know, but
I
either
don't
way,
know. You think it would?
Because when you're hosting a World Cup, you pick where the stadiums are.
Yeah. I wonder how long ago this was pre-planned too. It's always a year in advance for this.
Yeah,
but
I'm
again,
sure.
All right, boys, we're going to move on. But listen, I don't know where we go from here, but they're not getting back together for a little bit. Pochettino and his staff got to go away. They got to figure some things out. They've got to get the right players in there because, as you heard Nate say and Brooks say, that the right players are not there. The right players might be a little injured at the moment. Let's get them healthy. Let's get them back in. And let's have a better showing at the Gold Cup this summer, please, because
Before we go, I'm gonna ask you two a question because like I said, I've been watching what a lot of the former men's national team guys have been saying. Do you think those teams are much different from the current one? Do you see a big difference of anything?
What do you mean? The older generations,
Yeah.
the 90s and the 2000
Yeah.
teams, the U.S. men's national teams, are
Yeah.
they different?
I mean, they've essentially beaten the same teams, and they've probably done the same exact thing as these last, obviously the last World Cup this group was in.
Here's where
Are they that much better than actually what?
Here's where I say that the current team is a lot better than those older teams, right? Than those teams of the 90s or teams of the 2000s.
Yep.
How many players in those teams of the 90s and 2000s, how many of those players actually played in the top leagues in the world? The Premiership, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga. 1, 2, 3, maybe 5?
Maybe when you called in the team of the 23, they're probably like single digits, right?
Yeah,
Let's say
single
low-
digits.
yeah.
How many of those players in today's team, play in the top leagues in the world? Out of the 23 that were called in, 14, 15, 16?
Great,
I mean,
but that's my point right there, is that there's more playing overseas, and it's the same output.
it's the same output,
In,
but I don't.
in terms of wins and losses.
I don't see
In terms
this-
of wins and losses.
I don't
Technically,
see-
in IQ, better.
I don't
Yes.
see these soccer players who are technically better soccer players putting their bodies on the line,
Fair. Yes.
wearing their heart on their sleeve.
Yes.
They're coming in, trying to do a job, and then get back to their club.
Yes.
That's just my opinion. Nate?
So, that's, I think, with all international football right now.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
number one, I don't think it's used specific. Number two is I think the older generation players are trying to so desperately stay relevant.
That's fair.
By saying that, because here's three. I think the region has gotten way better since they were playing. Way better. Canada invested
Yes.
100% agree
15,
with that.
20 years ago into
Yes.
trying to build their soccer
Yes.
their soccer community and have done so.
Yep.
Panama's made improvements. Mexico actually has made improvements if you really look at it.
Sure.
A lot of the players, there's various players that are playing at very high levels.
And they're doing well. Like Jimenez is doing well
Yes.
for Fulham, and
Yes.
and
so
AC Milan.
I think it's a very much an apples to oranges comparison when you go, oh, you know, we never lost to Canada.
Sure.
Okay, Canada
Wasn't as good.
They wasn't as good. They had they didn't have players playing professionally in Europe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the game's changed, which is good because with competition, you'll breed better output.
Yep.
And I think we are getting a benefit of that. And part of it, we are a victim of our own well-being in that MLS has helped and supported the rest of
CONCACAF. Yeah.
CONCACAF.
Sure.
More,
The Panamanians always anytime anyone does
Absolutely.
well in CONCACAF Champions League, it's an MLS team that calls them that
Yep.
brings them in.
And so they've been playing in better surroundings, more professional areas against better competition. So
Yeah.
our domestic league has actually supported the other relevant leagues better than
Yes.
Lega
Our own domestics.
Yeah, and actually better than Lega Mexico because Lega Mexico usually is a very closed door thing.
It is. Only Mexicans usually play in
Exactly.
Liga. Yep.
So we're more open, and that's kind of hurt us at times.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Are we good to move on now, bro?
Yeah, sorry. I just
We
want to
can
bring
move
that
on to
up.
we can move on to
It was
that.
an interesting point because it's been a topic of conversation. So.
All right. There you have
One
it.
last thing,
Oh, good Lord. Yes, Tim Cook.
Tim Cook.
The guy of Apple. Apple, whenever they're on stage and they always do one last thing, it started from Steve Jobs.
I
Anyway,
would say
onwards.
Tim Hortons is trash.
Is that the last thing?
That's last.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. I like that.
and Jesse Marsh's green card should be or citizenship should be revoked instantly. Get on that, Trump.
Get on that, Trump. All right, we got a lot of other stuff to get to here. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the UEFA Nations League games and some of the results and some of the scary pieces, things that happened there. Is Kevin De Bruyne seriously considering coming to the MLS, and to who? And what team recently qualified for the World Cup, along with a lot of other things. And we're going to get to all of that right after this. I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep, sorry, Doc. All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What was wrong with my old warm-up? Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord. All right, thank you to our good friend Zachary Atwood, Dr. Zach Atwood, the football doc. What a good dude. What a great doctor and a great soccer player, by the way. If you are injured, have been injured and suffering, get to the football doc. Or if you want to do some baseline testing to try to get better, get to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. All right, there was also, by the way, I got to be honest, I really do not care about the UEFA Nations League and all this garbage leagues and extra games they throw on. I just do not care. England played the other day. That was for World Cup qualifying. They beat Albania 2-0. I won't even go into it. A lot of Tuchel's first game and his lineup and who he called in and all that good stuff goes into that. They play Latvia tomorrow. Nations League happened this weekend with some really good games and some interesting results, we must say. France beat Croatia 2-0. This is a two-legged match. They tied 2-2, so they went to penalties. France advanced after penalties. Germany drew with Italy 3-3. Kind of an interesting game there going back and forth. Germany scored a great goal off a corner kick with Donnarumma and his Italian defenders just not paying attention. Really well done by the German players. Go ahead.
So that was a bit of home cooking. Because if you watched what happened, the ball went off to the left.
Sure.
Right? Now, yeah, they should have been paying way more attention.
Hold on. Let me set it up real quick. Nate. Hold on. The ball comes in. Donnarumma makes a great save and tips it over to over the bar, right?
Yep.
And then he does what any normal goalie does. He kind of comes off his line to 7 or 8 yards to scream at his defenders like, "You've got to get out there and close him down. Don't let him shoot. What are you doing?" And he's standing on like the 7 or 8 yard line, pretty much, just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
That summed it up. So, but the only thing I was saying is the ball went off to the left, right?
Yep.
And as a player, you're just like, okay, the ball's off to the left. Yeah. It's going to take a minute for them to get the corner in. What happened was all of a sudden, out of like screen right, some ball just got thrown out. I think it was Sane who was taking the corner. No, Kimmich. It was Kimmich. He was just like tossed to Kimmich, who grabbed it, set it down. Musiala goes,
Play me.
and he just kicked it in. Who's standing behind everyone?
Oh, yeah. And it can't be outside because it's coming from a corner.
Nope.
And the ball didn't bend.
No one's looking at him. He's standing behind everyone. Yeah. Like Donnarumma's like staring, like he's back's turned, yelling at everyone. Kimmich just plays it and he just touches it, hits it in. Boink. And it was just like the camera people were. This is how you know it was a little bit of home cooking, and they were playing at I think Dortmund. Actually, which is a very compact, close stadium. So the camera guys, by the time they realized what was going on, were just showing the celebration live. Yeah. Because they actually kind of cut away, right? They cut away, and then all were like, oh, shit, and they showed, obviously, the replay. But the camera people weren't even focused on what was going on.
I mean, that's
how fast it happened.
You saw Musiala standing there, and he just looks. He's like, wait, the goal is here. Donnarumma's there.
And Kimmich has a ball.
And you see him go, yep. All right, cool, thanks. Tink. Easy goal. And you're just like, what? That Italy, what are you doing?
It literally was bang, bang in a matter of 4 seconds because ball went out that way. Donnarumma was rolling. Kimmich walks up. Wow. Ball out of nowhere. Like another ball gets just tossed. They should have checked that ball to make sure it was actually from. It could have been from a fan for all we know. Like,
that'd have been hilarious.
Smuggled in, pumped it up real quick, and tossed it out there.
That'd be awesome.
So
anyway,
two Stuttgart players actually, middle staff and the guy that looks a little bit like you, but plays midfield.
Weird.
Stellar.
I was a
also got
midfielder.
the start for Germany.
There you go.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Some definite home cooking for Stuttgart there.
So
All right, so that happens. Germany and Italy tie 3-3, and Germany advance. Spain drew with the Netherlands 2-2, but advances on penalty kicks. Yes, Nate.
just then, 10 minutes in the game, Mexico's up 1-0.
Oh.
Wow.
Panama still's owning possession, 60% though.
Ooh, that counts for something, though, right?
Yeah, trophy.
Yeah, you got a trophy? Yeah. Oh, no. Of course you don't. All right, so Portugal beat Norway 5-2. No, sorry.
5-2.
Was it 5-2?
5-2, but 5-3 on aggregate.
Yep. Then when was the Norway 5-0 win over Moldova?
Might have been before then.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I can't remember. But anyway, during the 5-0 win over Moldova, there was a pitch invader, and Holland had been subbed off. Holland's sitting on the bench. This pitch invader comes from behind one of the goals, and he's sprinting on. They had to stop him. I want to know what this guy was gonna do when he got to. What is he gonna do when he got to Holland? Holland's like 6'4". So what were you going to do? They said that he looked like he was fumbling in his pocket like this. He may have been looking for something, but we heard he was dragged away. There was nothing they found on him. So what is he going to do? Just like a big old hug and a kiss to Erling Haaland? I don't know. Anyway, we got to stop this, man. These fans, and this is a grown-ass man running on the field towards another grown-ass man.
Oh, sorry, that was yesterday. Norway, Moldova. Correct. 5-0. Yep.
So-
It also beat Kazakhstan 5-0.
Ooh. Erling Haaland did get on the score sheet, so good to see him scoring for Norway. But what is with the pitch invasions? And you're going to pitch invade to go to Haaland, who's sitting on the bench? Someone explain this to me. What are you doing as a grown man? What are you doing?
Every star player needs a messy bodyguard where, it's like every time someone runs on the fan, you see this big, bulky guy just running after you.
That dude, he can haul ass, can
Yeah.
he not?
Hey, I happen to be more nimble than I look.
You're hired. You're hired. I'm playing tomorrow night.
I'm kind of
I
a big. Can I be your big bulky guy?
Yeah, so when Brooks comes on the field trying to run after me, because he's my stalker, you get to stop him.
All right, I love it.
Yeah, everybody needs a messy bodyguard. That dude can haul ass, can he not?
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
maybe Holland needs one, and just all the superstars, hey,
But recently we've seen a bunch of pitch invaders, and they're like young kids that get
Yes.
on there, right? And Messi and Ronaldo are like, okay, just let them get a nice little picture, and I'll sign something or a hug or whatever, right? Cool. But a grown ass man, what are you doing, dude? You're gonna go. What are you gonna do when you get to Erling Haaland? What are you gonna sit down and have a conversation with him, shake his hand, give him a kiss? I don't. What the f? What is up with this? I don't get it, man.
I mean, there's half-naked females that run on the field, too.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
mind
different
those.
story.
No, that's way different.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm in baseball. That's a different story. We're gonna allow that.
Okay.
Definitely gonna allow that.
Yeah.
Even
for their OnlyFans page, that's what they do it for,
it still doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I'm not subscribing, by the way, because I'm not paying for anything I can get cleanly for free on the internet. But
Fair enough.
bizarre. A lot of them do it. The women do it with signs on their chest for
Yes,
the gambling companies, right?
Yeah, that's true. They do that, too.
We're going to allow that. And actually, I think they should get more TV time. Just saying.
Might get better ratings, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, grown men? No. You guys remember that? You remember the commercial from a couple of years ago? It's based in an English soccer match, and the guys are commentating. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes down the stairs. He's got a scarf on and no clothes, but he's got Nike trainers on, and he's running around the pitch. And then he runs and jumps off the pitch and up the stairs. And the commentator's like, "Well, that was a little bit of fun." And now back to the game. And then they pan to a different angle, like, "Oh, wait, hold on, he's back for it a little bit more." And the dude runs around, and none of the guards can catch him because he's wearing Nikes. No? I'm going to have to find it and display it in the We Are Soccer group because it's one of my favorite all-time commercials. All right. That's enough of that, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Asians, don't do it.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk Kevin De Bruyne. All right. It's come out that San Diego FC have had conversations with Kevin De Bruyne's agent in the last couple of weeks. He's 33 years old, clearly clearly not going to go any further in the Premiership with Man City. There's going to be just a flogging of the players, like, you're out, see you later. You, Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, Kyle Walker. There's going to be a clearing out of Man City players. Clearly, Kevin De Bruyne, one of the older players, will be let go at the end of the season. We all assume he may take that big payday in Saudi Arabia, but...
You know why he might come to San Diego? I'm going to tell you this right now.
Because
Sunshine.
You know who his agent is?
No.
Rock Nation.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's interesting.
I bet Jay-Z and those guys are,
That's some great insight, Brooks. I did not realize that.
Transfer Market UK is a wonderful place.
What are the chances? Give me a percentage of the chances that Kevin De Bruyne comes to MLS.
So he's from De Bruyne is Belgium.
Belgium,
Yes.
I think it's a higher chance he'd come to MLS over Saudi.
You think so?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
one last payday. It's one last payday.
But I think I go culturally. You know
Sure,
what I mean? I'd
sure.
be more. It's kind of like the Forsberg. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
more of a Scandinavian.
Yeah.
culture.
I mean, Royce wanted to come here. They interviewed Royce
Yeah.
on that on side documentary. He was like, "It's LA. I love it here. Like,
Yeah.
it's warm. It's sunny. It's not rainy.
All right, give me a percentage, Brooks. Does
and
it
here's
have?
the thing: Kevin De Bruyne is one of those players like Marco Royce, like Forsberg. They're not like they're good, known players, but they're not like, hey, that's that guy. It's not a Messi. They can walk around. It's kind of like what Beckham always talked about.
And Giroud could do too.
And they can walk around where it's not that big of a deal. Plus, every LA team at this point has a former European, so San Diego needs one now, right?
Yes,
not bad.
correct.
Right? That's how we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I think it's a good percentage based on that. Give me a number. Are we at like 7%, 70%, 97%? What do you think happens?
99.9%. Send it!
You're in there. You're gonna put money on it too, huh?
Paul Pogba is talking about going to Inter Miami, too.
I saw that.
Send it!
Wasn't he talking? He was talking
with
to
Giroud.
LAFC as well.
He visited Giroud in the stands when he wasn't playing, and there were
Yeah.
people saying that maybe that's where he'll end up. I think he ends up on MLS, Pogba.
You think Paul Pogba
It's
ends up in MLS?
One of the big cities, Miami, LA, or New York, he ends in.
Okay. Well, give me Brooks. I want your percentage on
De
Kevin
Bruyne?
De Bruyne. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like 99%.
It's
I don't think he's going to I think he wants to play some decent football, but also know that like he can live somewhere nice.
you guys are pretty much saying this is bang on. Gonna happen. Kevin De Bruyne is coming to the MLS.
I just see.
Buy the jersey now.
I just see a player like Kevin De Bruyne more apt to do that, whereas I see a player like Mo Salah actually more apt to do the Saudi League.
Sure.
I mean, San Diego and I watched them today. They play the style that fits De Bruyne. They want to play in between the lines, and they want to play tiki-taka football. That's what their new coach wants to do, and I
right.
think that fits his playing style.
In one of the all-time worst takes that we've had on We Are Soccer, Brooks, you said Messi may struggle in MLS. We're always going to remind you of that.
Still struggling.
You or Scott?
Both.
Because every time Scott plays on Friday nights with us, that's always what I hear every
That's
time.
what he says.
Yeah.
Give me, how does Kevin De Bruyne do in the MLS? If he comes in,
Gonna struggle.
is he going to struggle? I mean, listen, it's a fast-paced league, and he's lost a couple of steps.
He's not running. Let's just put it that
He's
way.
going to come get the ball, turn, dish. Get the ball, turn, dish. Get the ball, turn, dish, right? That's going to be his thing. Is he going to do good?
Yeah, I think he'll do well.
Don't yell at me. Don't throw anything at
fine.
me. Don't be angry at
Brooks
me.
already has a shoe in his hand ready to throw.
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
If you're coming in from an upper European league playing with players that young who are very, very fast, not to say that MLS isn't fast,
Let's see where you're
I'm
going
going
with
to
this.
say for at least the first year of transitioning over,
Sure.
you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's because you're already from here going down. It's kind of actually what I was saying about Tim Ream
Yes.
to all of us. Tim Ream playing at an upper level, as he's declining, you can maintain playing at that upper level longer.
Yep.
As soon as you start declining into a lower level as your age is declining, that's when you start to slip.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a
Fine.
ton of sense. That
So I
makes a ton
think
of
for
sense.
the first year or two, because of where they're coming from, all these guys are going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's the outer years that they're probably going to you'll start to see it add up.
I mean, San Diego also needs to fix their back line too. But anyways, they have some upgrades. But yeah, no, I agree. Like,
Okay. Yeah. All right. We think he'll do well. We think he's coming. All right. We're in. We Are Soccer. We're predicting he will be here and he will do very well. All right. We got a couple of other things we're going to get to, boys. A little bit of soccer news. Who was the first team other than the host countries to make the 2026 World Cup. We got a couple of young players who've made some debuts. We're going to talk about Detroit City FC. We're going to talk about USL History being made this weekend. And we're going to let you know about a women's 7v7 tournament and how much money the winner gets when we return right after this.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
America. Ooh, wow, that's not MLS. Oh.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin, you know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
All right, thanks for sticking around. A big thank you to Soccer World. SoccerWorld.net is where you can get all of your soccer gear needs. A couple of things we're getting to. We're going to wrap it up in about 10 minutes, but Japan is the first country to qualify for the 2026 World Cup, other than the host countries of Canada, USA, and Mexico. But Japan, congratulations. Just a little bit of European Serie A news. Thiago Motta was fired this weekend, and Igor Tudor was hired. So Juventus, you've got a new coach. Congratulations. We'll see how that works out for you. Brooks, these notes are from you, so if I get them wrong, I'm going to throw something at you. But Tristan Brown, Crew first team debut against New York City FC. Yep. He's from the Southeast Michigan native and becomes the second youngest academy player to debut for the Columbus Crew first team at 17 years, 5 months, and 3 days.
Former Michigan Wolves player.
Former Michigan Wolves player making his debut in the MLS. Yep. That is awesome. Well done, kid. Yep. He is the first youngest, the youngest player, I should say, is Taha Habruna.
Yeah, Habrun.
Habrun is the youngest at 17 years, 3 months, and 20 days old. Yep. Yeah, congratulations to them. All right, so what happened? What happened in the USL and the USL Championship this weekend? Well, let's start out with Detroit City FC. Detroit City FC remain undefeated as they drew 2-2 with the Birmingham Legion on Saturday at Keyworth Stadium. Beautiful day, a little chilly, but the sun was out. Looked like a great time. I watched it on television. DCFC goals came from Darren Smith in the 20th minute and Ben Morris in the 33rd minute. Detroit City FC, boys, off to a flyer. They're 3 games into the season, 2 wins and a tie, no losses. They look like they're actually playing some really nice, entertaining football. I gotta get down to Keyworth soon and watch this team. They look great, man.
I'm gonna say it now. We're bringing it home.
Bringing it home. Where is that? It's coming home.
It's coming home.
It's coming home. Maybe we should change it to bringing it home. But
bringing it coming.
It's gonna be.
It's never been. It's never. We've never won it. But this
could be the year.
Yeah,
could be.
Could be the year.
No, it is the year.
It is the year. Danny Dicchio has this team playing really well.
Different lineup. A lot of. They brought in a lot of guys, and they still have some core guys. I mean, obviously, Nate Steinwasser's not there anymore. He's retired, but the Saldano's done really well for them.
Yep.
Connor Rutz is still scoring goals.
Connor Rutz is still scoring goals. Jay Chapman's running the midfield. He's new to this year, obviously, former TCFC and Michigan State grad.
Yeah.
But it's good to see him still. What is he, like 31, 32 now?
Yeah, he's a little younger than me. So I was in school when he was there.
Good to see him running the midfield. I like Jay Chapman.
Yeah.
They called him a legend, a Michigan State legend.
Did you take offense?
I didn't take offense, but I went.
You're like,
there's a no.
What am I here?
Not putting myself, but I said there's a couple of legends who come to mind when I talk about Michigan State soccer. And
Craig Hearn.
No, not
Hearn
even close.
Craig.
But I was like, I don't know if I put him there, but I don't know. I'm happy if he is. He's playing well, and
He was good when he was at State. I remember watching him play.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was good. All right. So what USL history was made this weekend, Brooks? I'm gonna let you do the honor because you love the USL.
Yeah.
Tell us what history was made in USL this weekend.
Yeah, Oakland Roots setting the league attendance record, and honestly, probably outdrawing some MLS clubs, to be honest with you, in some of their stadiums. So, if anyone didn't know, Oakland Roots are now playing in the Oakland Coliseum, as the Oakland A's are not playing there anymore. So, they sold that was like over 26,000 people, 25,000, I think it was.
26,575 to be exact.
So that's the largest ever USL championship crowd.
This just in, MLS bought the Oakland Roots.
That might be their next move. Who knows?
This just in.
Who knows?
Sacramento, sorry you're out. Oakland Roots, you're back in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But kudos to them. They did lose though, unfortunately, to San Antonio.
San Antonio, excuse me.
Yeah, 2-1. But it was good. It's good to see that. Hopefully there's obviously beautiful stadiums like Louisville City when Detroit gets theirs, but Keyworth is a nice place. They get a lot of people. They sell out from time to time, 8,000 people. So
not to bag on Keyworth.
No,
We know how it is there.
Keyworth,
Sure.
it's old and a place that
is.
they just
However,
found to play.
yeah.
because now I'm going to give it some props. Visually, when you're watching the game actually on TV, visually it actually looks really nice.
It does.
Yes.
Visually,
Especially
it
when the
looks-
train goes
Yes.
back
With the
behind.
background.
It's awesome.
It actually
Yes.
looks really nice visually.
You got to give it to Detroit City FC and their crew and just say, you guys did a great job fixing that stadium up from what it
doing
originally
what
was.
you could, doing a lot with a little, basically.
Exactly.
And
a lot
making it
with a
look
little.
even better than what it really is on
Yes.
TV. Whereas what's
Correct. It doesn't look like a high school stadium
does
that's
not.
used for the
Right.
community.
It really does.
That's what.
So well done, Nate. Yes, props to DC.
No, and it does. It really does look nice. Visually, it looks very, very nice.
Yeah.
At the chalked out sidelines that they move the sideline 5 yards over more.
and I'm not trying to. I mean, it is what it is, but we all
Yeah.
know what it is as well. If you're locally and actually been to the games,
Yes.
and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
you know what I mean. But it's nice, but it's not that great. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Did the best with what they have.
they did the best what they had. They made a lot of improvements. They made it look nice. The fans and everyone else did
Agreed.
rolled up the sleeves, and honestly, on TV, it looks very nice.
Agreed.
But I'll say, at least for Oakland Roots, it looks good for USL after all the announcements they've just made that they can pull that off. So
Sure.
it looks good in that regard.
Agreed. It absolutely does.
And this just in, MLS have also, but
All right, guys, moving forward here. Listen, Nate, I'm going to need you to go into your wife's closet, pick out the nicest flowery dress she has and a hat. And if you could borrow
it's not Thursday, and I don't do that on Thursday.
I know, but this is a special occasion.
All right.
So flowery dress, maybe like big willowy hat. And then maybe you can borrow one of Brooks's long blonde wigs. Brooks, I'm gonna need one of those wigs as well. I'm gonna go into my wife's closet. I'm gonna get one of her flowery dresses as well. Maybe put on the high heels that definitely fit me. And boys, listen, we're gonna enter into a women's 7v7 tournament because it's gonna be held in Portugal, May 21st through the 23rd. And there's a $5 million pot that gets held, and it's between the 8 teams. Winners could stand to earn more than the Women's Champions League winners. I think we could go in and win this, fellas.
Wait.
I mean, girls.
No.
No?
No.
No.
We'd get our ass kicked, and you know it.
God.
We'd get the shit knocked out of us like a goddamn drum. We'd be beaten mercifully, and we'd feel
The
bad
women's
about
players
it.
aren't bad players.
What you don't know is
we would never touch the ball.
what you don't know is I signed Danny Price up to play with us. He's gonna be our star player.
Does he have any knees left?
No, not really. No.
Cool. And you're on the beers 90. Like out of physically,
I'm on the beers every night. Yeah.
out of all of us, I think I'm the best shape out of all of us.
Pretty much.
Okay. So
I don't know what you're expecting me to do because I'm an awful friggin' soccer player, but I'm in great shape. I'm like Luna, and I just run around.
you're not Diego Luna. Yeah, just run around and
I
look
am
good and do a
Diego
couple good
Luna.
touches and nice hair.
Running around.
Yeah.
Just running.
All right. Forget that. We're not gonna.
It's
We're
an
not gonna.
awful idea.
We're not gonna dress up like women to go enter a soccer tournament.
I have a better idea.
Whoa, what's your?
We don't do any of that.
Uh-huh.
And we just go watch an FC Cincinnati game.
Maybe.
Shorter trip.
Mm-hmm.
They got beer.
They do have beer. I like beer.
And it's still soccer.
Yeah.
And I like soccer. But I like, okay, yep, no, I'm in. Let's do that. All right, boys. Listen, there's a lot of other stuff we wanted to get to, but we ran out of time. We're going to get to it next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Do me a favor. Tune in other days, because occasionally we're going to go live on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Tune in. Make sure you're aware of that. Also, do me another favor. Give us a like, give us a subscription, give us a share across any platform that you are currently watching or listening on. We would very much appreciate it. Put some comments in. Tell us who out of the three of us would look best in a nice flowery long dress and a one big billowy hat. It'd probably be Nate. It's probably true, but you guys, you know what? Let us know who you think would look best. That's going to wrap us up for the week. Big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all of your soccer gear needs. Big thank you to Next Level Training, Aaron Bird, Dylan, Scotty, Summer, Bilal, the boys and the girls of Next Level Training, some of the best, not some of the absolute best in the country. They are the best trainers around. Big thank you to the Michigan Jags, Michigan Jaguars FC for all the need to know on the Michigan Jags and what's happening and how you can try out come in June. And a big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. Very much appreciate the love and support, everybody. Until next week, we'll see you later. Cheers.